Hello, guys. Welcome to Med Corner, a captivating podcast dedicated to exploring the vast and ever evolving world of health and medicine. Here, we'll be presenting you with accurate health information and dispelling various health myths. Guys, guess what? This is our first episode, and I'm excited about this journey. I am Dr. Peter Yahweh, Dr. Yahweh for short, and I'm here with my guy, my colleague, my friend, Dr. Oxby.
Yeah, I'm Dr. Habila Oxberg. You can call me Oxy for short. And today we are going to be discussing building resilience in a rapidly changing world, focusing on mental health. Mental health is such an underrated topic that doesn't get discussed enough in the world at large and in Nigeria too. Nigeria has an estimated population of 217 million people, and it is estimated that 1 in 4 people, averagely about 54 million Nigerians, have mental health. So if you count the two of us and the two guys behind the scene, one of us has a mental health.
Are you serious? Because this statistic is scary.
Yeah,
so
it's a very serious
if I
matter.
go out on the streets and I just see 4 people gathered, there's a high probability that 1 in those 4 people
Definitely.
have mental health issue.
Definitely.
That's really scary, and I think it's not funny, especially with what is happening in the world generally. I see inflation everywhere, not just in Nigeria, and different parts of the world, different countries going into recession, making announcements. And I mean, for us in Nigeria here is worse. Sometimes you go to the market and you almost feel like shedding tears when you hear of prices of something, and then it keeps.
Prices are rapidly changing.
I mean, every 2 hours, different things are different. Every 2 hours, the prices of goods and services are changing. So I really think it's an important issue for us to talk about here.
I know as humans, we tend to think that being healthy is just not having any illness, but it's way beyond that. It has to do with your mental, your physical, and the social aspects of your life.
Yeah, this kind of reminds me of, I mean, that comprehensive definition of health, where they said it's not just the absence of diseases. So it means, I mean, a lot of us are not healthy if we really check.
Word.
Because I mean, the fact that you're not sick, the fact that you're not in the hospital does not also mean you're healthy yet. So it's a complete well-being, physically, mentally, spiritually, socially, and I mean, and otherwise.
Yeah.
Yes, and I agree with you when you said mental health is very underrated, especially in places like this. Why do you think, I mean, people do not go out to seek for mental health care?
I think one of the barriers people face is the social stigma. There's how society views people with mental health. Like once they hear that you have a mental health disorder, the first thing they associate you with is madness. And mental health is way more than that.
Why do people do that though? I mean, when you tell maybe your guy that guy I'm having some mental health issue, they're already imagining you with, I mean, rags, roaming about the streets, picking dumps. Around. But I mean, we're here to tell you that mental health is beyond that. Mental health is beyond that. It's beyond the schizophrenia. That's what that's called. The mad people you see, the people you call mad in quotes, the people the general public call mad. Those ones with dirty clothes and moving. That's just a very tiny aspect of
just the tip of the iceberg.
of somebody with a mental health issue. It's far beyond that. As a matter of fact, there's a statistics that says 60% of workers in a given company have had a mental health issue. 60% of them.
In addition to that, it's seen that only 10% of those people seek care when they need to. And this poses a very huge threat in productivity, because if you're not okay mentally, you won't work efficiently at work. And there are various signs that you would see and know that, okay, this person is going through mental stress.
I think we need to talk about those things, different signs that whether yourself or somebody, your friend or someone around can see and say, okay, this may be a pointer. But I think we also need to give out the disclaimer that this does not exclusively mean that this person is going through that, but they are pointers.
Exactly.
Yes, because I know humans, you can just pick one thing and
say, by this you have a mental health condition.
so it's not just that, but there are pointers, and by the time we begin to talk, you see that a lot of us, in one way or the other, we have in one way or the other been under this threat or even gone through the issue. So I think we can classify this signs into physical, emotional, at work. Are there other classifications that I've missed out?
I think we can work with that.
Okay. Now let's. I think we should begin with those signs at work. Okay. Now you find out that maybe in a company or at a job, find out that for example someone is constantly absent or always coming late. That is a pointer that the person might be going through.
Always coming very early.
I mean, that's not a joke. It's true. The fact always coming late, always coming early, maybe pointers. Not just absenteeism, also presenteeism. I mean, it's time for job over. The work has closed. But why is this person still at work?
Like for me personally, I notice when I'm getting like really stressed at work, I tend to forget things easily. I tend to begin to have like anxiety towards things that I shouldn't feel anxious about. So forgetfulness, feeling anxious, they're all pointers towards mental health.
Exactly. I also remember one, oversleepiness. Yeah, you find out that you, or as an individual, your normal sleep time is like 8 hours or 10 hours, but somehow you're getting to 12 hours, 14 hours. You're just sleeping. You don't feel like you're not motivated to go out. You just want to sleep. Now you are looking at sleep as an escape from reality, and then you just tend to. So those are things that we should watch out for. People begin to overeat or undereat. Someone remember that these comparisons are to a reference, your previous state.
Exactly.
Yes, not like you pick someone who naturally has a big appetite, and then you're saying, this one has a. Because I mean, if we're going by that, you should also because you eat a lot. So like the comparison with like your previous state.
Yeah.
You're someone that naturally you don't like to eat, and then somehow you find yourself eating almost triple of what you usually eat, or you usually eat one plate, and then all of a sudden you can't even finish half plates of food. So that could also be a pointer.
That's very true.
Yeah, so there are a lot of these pointers, and we as individuals should watch out for these things. Yeah, so something else I would like us to discuss.
Before we go on, we're talking about why people don't seek the care that they need when they need to, and I talked about the social stigma. And another factor would be the cost of care, because sometimes when you need to see a doctor or a therapist, even the process of seeing the person, just the consultation fee, opening an account with them, and all that is very cost effective.
Yeah. I mean, even before we get to the hospital, and then you have to pay for consultation fees and all that. I mean, look at what's happening now. By the time you calculate your transport to go to the hospital, by the time you calculate what you're going to eat, because you're probably going to be there for some time, and then you look at...
to just deal with the mental health condition.
And there's something I've noticed with Nigerians, Africans. This may be a bit different with people in the Western world and all, but there's something I've noticed generally from my observation and experiences of my friends and my colleagues. As long as it's not giving you pain, I mean physical pain, and or blood coming out, they prefer to deal with it at home. So once maybe whatever is happening to them is not giving physical pain at the moment, or they are not seeing blood, they don't feel like going to the hospital.
Very true.
And I don't know that it's why that it is like that, because if in the long run you see that these issues are far bigger than even having those physical pains or having blood, you or as an individual prefer to even have had like physical pain that to warrant you to go to hospital, because I mean mental health issues are very deep.
And I think the result is pretty obvious because we see a lot of people abusing alcohol, abusing drugs, and these are ways people use to try to cope with the stress that they get. Now that's where resilience comes into play, because resilience is the difference between you keeping yourself and then you losing your cool. Resilience works like a band. The way you like pull a band and then it like retains its original form. That's just how resilience works. It has to do with your ability to recover quickly from difficulties, stress, and pressures.
Something else about coping with various stimuli, this stress and all. You mentioned excessive intake of alcohol and smoking. I look at it as a vicious cycle, because okay, you're going through a problem, and then you feel like by the time you drink alcohol, it will help you, it will calm your nerves down, and then helps you relax. You do that, you feel good on the first day.
Yeah.
You do that on the second day, you feel okay. On the third day, you're feeling good. Now, do you know what's happening? You're getting addicted to this. Now, this is a vicious. Yeah, it's a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
But you see that the 2 bottles that you usually take is no longer doing the work. You're now needing 4 bottles.
And you may even start taking them when you don't feel any stress.
Exactly. you start taking them when you don't feel any stress.
Yeah.
Exactly what's happening. What's that happening doing to your economy or to your personal economy? You're spending more money on that.
Right.
Imagine that you're married or you need to pay for something else, but you now think about, you're now calculating how you can divide that little resource you have to cater for your alcohol and then to cater for that. So you see the vicious cycle. You take alcohol, you're driving home, you can hit somebody, and
Exactly.
and all that. So all these examples you give me is just to help you understand, help individuals understand that mental health is a very big issue. It's beyond depression, it's beyond anxiety, it's beyond the mad people you see on the road.
That's why it's very important for us to understand how to deal with these difficulties and how to deal with this stress when we encounter them. And
Yes, we will talk about that, but I mean, generally as individuals, with what's happening, I think a general counsel that people should have at the back of their mind is that they should be kind to people.
Sure.
They should be kind to people. Someone out there, everywhere, is going through something you do not know anything about. People are going through different things that you have no idea about, whether it's work stress, whether it's stress from home, stress from school, exams, different things, and you do not know anything about it. You may not have that privilege to know. So instead of being harsh,
let's work with each other instead of like fighting against each other.
Yes,
That's why I'm always preaching love, because I feel it's very important, because different people deal with situations differently. There are different factors that could determine that, from your genetic predisposition to the kind of environment you're in. So everybody needs to be kind to one another, help each other to cope with the stress and all.
So you mean apart from like the physical stress, the external stress, genetics plays a role in mental health too.
Exactly.
What do you mean by that?
I can't remember the particular gene, but there's a research done a few years ago that shows that some people have higher tendencies of getting addicted to like certain substances, like the alcohol and the cannabis we are talking about. Like if you put 2 different people, like expose them to the same substance, one would have a higher tendency to be addicted to that substance compared to the other person.
Well, that's impressive. Or that's, I mean, strange to strange
Humans
to
are
yeah,
strange creatures.
yeah, that's strange to know. But I think the external plays more role. Yes, and that's why, I mean, different things happening at different times have influences of people on people. So I think the most important aspect of this discussion
Yeah.
would be to tell people how we can deal with various stress, how we can deal with various mental health problems. Yes, ultimately it would be to go come to the hospital. But I mean,
Yeah.
before then,
yeah.
yes. And you talked about resilience initially. You talked about
Yeah.
resilience, and there's something about resilience. Resilience doesn't mean the problem would not come.
Definitely.
Resilience does not mean you would not be exposed to harsh conditions of life.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that this stress would not come. It doesn't mean the rain would not fall. Resilience is just that umbrella. Yes, it's saying that when this thing comes, you are
You're
able
able to
to,
handle
yes,
it.
you're able to deal with it. You're able to handle it. You're able to come out of it. Yeah. So
Handle it. Let's say you're able to handle it properly.
Exactly, because yes, handling. I mean, we mentioned
Yeah.
different ways. Different people handle different things. So it's not just handling it. It's handling it properly. So that umbrella that you carry to move inside the rain is, and then not to get wet or to get wet minimally is the resilience that we are talking about. So how can people build this?
How do we build the resilience? How do we build the umbrella?
Yeah, exactly.
I think the first thing is to understand that change is constant. Change is always happening. So first of all, you have to accept that change. You have to accept that these things are going to happen. It's normal for it to happen. Everybody is going through it. You're not just the only one. So the first step, accepting the change. And then the second step is identifying your stressors. Different people have different stressors. Like some people's stressors would be work. Some people's stressors would be their kids. Some people's stressors would be, I mean, just walking down the street and seeing somebody looking at you in the wrong way.
No, yeah, I agree with you. I mean, but to go back a little about embracing change. I mean, from what we are even seeing around, just how many years ago there was an iPhone 4. I mean, that was your. I think you used an
Yeah,
iPhone.
I used an iPhone 4.
Was it an
Yeah,
iPhone 4 or 5?
it was 4.
Okay, and this is what now? Which one are you using now?
I'm using an iPhone 11 now.
Okay, so what happened to the iPhone 4?
I mean, it changed.
Oh, okay, so yeah. Anyway, the illustration I'm trying to give is that we're in a rapidly changing world. I mean, using just picking the iPhone or the Apple company for example, from 4. I think this is 15, 16. Now, is there 16 yet? Probably because
but
maybe
it's
as
not
we are
in the market
speaking,
yet.
they're already producing a 16. But I'm trying to say the world is rapidly changing. So you cannot, as individuals, you cannot raise against the rapid changing nature of the world. You're going to run mad, literally. I mean, because there are a lot of things happening, a lot of things to update, a lot of things to learn. So trying to say you have to keep up with all of this is one way of saying you cannot deal with this resilience, or you're not ready to be able to deal with resilience. What to do is, as he said, is to embrace this change. You understand that these things are meant to happen, and then you go at your pace. They said identifying a problem is the first step to solving it. Once you know that this is what it is, then accepting that and then going with it, going at your pace is a very important way of building resilience. What did you say was the second?
Yeah, identifying your stressors and then managing them accordingly.
So what if you cannot identify your stressors? I don't know about you, but there are some times that you just know that you're not happy with what's happening. You just know that you're not. There's something happening, but you can't really pinpoint. What does somebody do like that?
I think it has identifying your stressors also have to do with understanding yourself, knowing yourself. And one of the ways people know themselves is there are various ways. Some people do that through meditation. Some people do that through their culture or their environment. I lean towards the aspect of meditation and religion because religion has a way of, I mean, your faith just has a way of giving you hope that no matter how big your problem is, there's going to be light at the end of the tunnel.
These days they said the lights are started moving, because you can get to the end of the tunnel and there's no light there. So, anyways,
there are other ways you could manage stress or distressors too. Like, in addition to meditation and your faith, you could exercise, learn how to breathe. I mean, we are always breathing, but deep breathing, like being in the moment and enjoying the experience and the presence. It's
talking about identifying stressors, I remember that for me, this might just sound funny, but whenever I make a plan, for example, a to-do list, and along the day, it's not just going as it should. It's already stressing me out. So for example, that I just know that, okay, this, calm myself down and I know that, okay,
and
tomorrow
accept that change.
accept it. Exactly. So another way is to celebrate little wins. I mean, little milestones, celebrate them, and those are very, very, great ways that can help an individual build resilience. So I think we said something. Ultimately, people should not be shy, or should not be shy. Yes,
and you should just know when you need. I mean, if you do all these steps and it's not working out for you, you should know when to get help. I mean, you should have a positive social circle, people that you can talk to, people that won't be judgmental. I mean, your family, your friends. There are people that, I mean, when you're around them, they're just how positive you feel about everything. So being around people like that, if it doesn't work, then you should be able to seek professional help.
Seek professional help, guys. Go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. You think the African society has not developed to that region, but it has. We have a lot of psychosocial centers. Even the hospital, there are therapeutic specialists. There are psychiatrists. Psychiatrists is not only for mad people. I need to dispel that myth. Someone here, I'm going to see the psychiatrist. Doesn't mean I'm mad or I'm running nuts. Though that's not what it means. So endeavor to go to the hospital to seek for professional help, and we'll be fine when we do this. The world is moving fast, but we are stronger.
Another natural therapy is laugh. Always laugh.
Eat first and laugh. Eat first. Sometimes
you can't laugh on an empty stomach.
Word. I need to jot things down. So whatever you're going through, eat first. It might just be hungry. Where will you get the food? Problems are so many, but we'll be all okay. So, but we have one last word. Before we.
Just to say that resilience is a very important aspect of our lives that we all need to know how to use. We are humans, we are complex creatures, and we have been given this ability to deal with whatever we can. But if this doesn't work, you should know when to seek for professional help. Thank you very much, guys.
No words. No words. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for listening. See you next time.
See you next time. Med Corner. Take care.